Welcome back to what Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an Excelsior. It's a tier 5 British premium heavy. It's located on the southwest spawn of Arctic region, otherwise known as Mannerheim Line, and it's under the command of ProvoBob. Yes, we're continuing the Birthday Boys videos, and we're now featuring one with 3 battles in the Excelsior. Let's see how it gets on. Well, this tank was designed originally as a replacement for the Churchill. The Churchills didn't fare so well at the Dieppe raid, and well, the British were a bit doubtful that they could actually stand up against German tanks, so they decided to try and engineer a new heavy tank based on the successful Cromwell tank. This was going to be the Tank Heavy Assault A33 Excelsior. Now, it's going to be powered by a Meteor engine, Rolls-Royce Meteor with a V12 engine, 620 horsepower, 27 litre engine, the same engine that you'll find in a Spitfire, although without the supercharger. Now, that fares fairly well against the Tiger, which actually has a Maybach engine, which is only 23 litres, but the Maybach generates 700 horsepower, whereas this one's only 620. Now, the gun is a 75mm. It's capable of doing 110 alpha, and with standard rounds it will penetrate 91mm. With the premium rounds it goes through a fair bit more. It goes through 144. So a Excelsior can take on another Excelsior and destroy them. Okay, well, first time coming down to attack us is a B1. We should easily be able to penetrate this one. He's auto-aimed on, and he is firing the standard ammo, which should easily be able to penetrate the B1. Yep, I focus on the T-34 because it's the closest at the moment. He's also got a 75mm, unless he opts for the 57mm. Okay, he's got 1 kill. Now he's going to go for the Valentine. Notice how he's using standard ammo, which is very good because that will maximise his credits. Although he's not getting a huge number of penetrations with it though. And the Valentine's dead. Now the thing he's got to watch out for is that the enemy tanks might try to dive down onto him. Oh, he's found another one. Now he can easily penetrate the M8A1. One more shot to kill. And that is his 2nd kill. Now that BDR-G1B is trying to fight off multiple targets. And you can see that ProvoBob's having no trouble at all penetrating through the side of that vehicle. It doesn't have very great armour, but if it's got the top gun, it's got a 90mm, and he does have the top gun. And this is going to hurt. Oh, luckily he died before he could do any damage to us. Now, ProvoBob has actually lost his gunner. I don't think he knows that at the moment, though. He's put it back in. Okay, so he does know. Now, this is an easy target to kill. It's a Type 95, which is a tier 4 Japanese heavy. Very light armour. And yet he's got his next kill. And he's got 20% of the enemy hit pool, which means now that he's got potential high caliber. Now, the armour on the Excelsior is much harder at the front and at the rear. It's 114.3mm at the front, and 108 at the rear, and 31 at the sides. So you don't want to get hit in the sides. Ideally you want to get hit in the front if you can. But if the enemy starts firing APCR at you, they might be able to penetrate you from the front. You just don't want to get hit in the sides if you can help it. Okay, next target's a Valentine. We got him by the side, he's tracked. And oh, that was an anorak by somebody. It was the 60G FT. Blew the turret off. There's only 3 enemies left, and it looks like they're directly ahead of us because although there's one enemy tank around the corner handling our teammates, it's a Panzer Selbstfahrerfährte 1C, we don't know where the other 2 are, and one of them's an AMX ELC and the other one's a Stug 3G. Well, there's the AMX ELC. He's been spotted round the corner, and I would not be surprised if we're about to come across the Stug. Where is he? He's not here. I wonder if he's gone up into the top left hand corner. There's the Panzer Selbstfahrerwerte 1C. There's the AIM Excelsior, and he doesn't know we're looking behind him and shooting him up the rear. Now he realises it's too late. Ah, the Stug is directly ahead of us. There he is. And he gets killed before ProvoBob recognises what's wrong. And it was a reduced numbers game just by 1. So the game is over. So the first game is a victory. In the second game, we're on the Karelia map. And we're on the southwest spawn. Game on. Well, you can see that ProvoBob's got 2 marks of excellence on the barrel. He does play the Excelsior quite a lot. He does enjoy this tank, and it is a very good crew trainer for the British heavy tanks. And of course there's a lot of British heavy tanks and further up the tech tree, so it's actually useful to have this vehicle and train up really good crews in them. Now, English Electric, who actually built the Excelsior, built 2 hulls. They built one which was actually a Cromwell hull, and the second one was also a Cromwell hull, but it was built by the Midland, was it the Light Midland Railway? I'm trying to remember, it was LMS I think it was, and this was a slightly different tank with armoured skirts. Now the Excelsior didn't actually get accepted into service because what they did is instead they improved the Cromwell and they made it better, and then it was less prone to the same problems they had on the Dieppe raid, which were that these tanks, or the Cromwell tanks rather, had a lot of difficulty trying to draw themselves out of the shingle around the beach. In fact, many of the the Churchill tanks were killed on the beach, never having actually managed to get off it to deal with the Germans. Those that did get off the beach unfortunately were taken out by enemy tanks and enemy anti-tank guns. Well, he's got a B1 this time. Oh no, what's happening there? His gun's going up. He did auto aim onto the target, but his gun was going upwards, and I think that's because he went over the dip. Now he's auto aiming on and getting pens on the B1. Now it really does help that it's got this 110 alpha, because a B1 tank can only do a very small amount of damage each shot, and he has to pump an awful lot of rounds into an Excelsior, and really, to be honest, he doesn't really have the armour to deal with this sort of tank. Neither does that Type 95 ahead of us. In fact, it's the AT2 that's actually firing at us at the moment, and he's not penetrating either. You can see some of those rounds bounced off the front of the vehicle. I think he's going to go round up near that gap, try and engage the B1 first. This is a reduced numbers game again, and unfortunately we've already lost a serious number of our tanks, and mostly down on the southwest corner. In fact, we've only got one heavy tank down there now, the KV-1. Most of our forces are up this end of the map. Okay, we've got a Lux down there, the Lynx, tier 4 light tank, got a wicked 30 millimeter round, 3 centimeter round I should say. Although the Lynx never actually had the 3 centimeter gun, it was only the 20 millimeter. That's the only thing that the Lynx was ever armed with. Mind you, that is a 2 centimeter artillery flak gun. Still pretty good potential. A Lynx was designed to be a reconnaissance tank, so it was actually designed to find the enemy and dispose of them. And of course it would come across a lot of light tanks and trucks and easily be able to kill those with the 2 centimeter cannon. The Excelsior, on the other hand, 75 millimeter gun, 110 alpha. It was quite a powerful gun really, if you think about it. And the rate of fire is quite quick as well. The standard reload is 3.64, And ProvoBob's got 3.12 on this gun. Well, he's actually returned to the cap because I think he saw the minimap and he realised that the enemy was going to be making a courtesy call at our cap area, and he needed to be here to greet them. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be able to fend off all of the enemy tanks, especially considering one of them happens to be an Excelsior and another one happens to be a KV-222, and they're already in the cap area. So who's going to be the first one? It's the Excelsior. Well, he's easily going to penetrate the sides of that one. He gets 2 rounds in before the guy ducks into cover, but he might come across that KV-222. He gets the Excelsior. Now the KV-222's got a 75mm gun as well, but a big difference with him is he's got tier 7 armour, which will be really difficult for the Excelsior to penetrate unless he uses the APCR. And ProvoBob switched to the APCR now to ensure that he can pen these guys. Well, he can do this Cruiser 4 with just standard ammo, and he's auto-aimed on. Two more shots. That's it. And the last one. Yep, gets him. But it's now 3 against 7. Oops. Yeah. And the KV-222 apparently cut straight across the battlefield next to the marsh, and he's now attacking our guys from the rear. And the enemy AT2 has wiped out another tank, the M8A1, which now means there's only 2 enemies left, or 2 of the teammates rather left. And here comes a B1. Well, standard ammo will do on this guy. You don't need the premium rounds, Bob. Just standard ammo will do it. Yeah, there's nothing the B1 can do to stop these shells from penning. And he's got 20% of the enemy hit pool. Yeah, the B1's just trying to escape. He knows he's done for. Now, auto-aim on. Let's see, he's gone. And potentially he's got a steel wall. Now it looked to me like the M10 was just around our cap area a short while ago, and he might come down this way. Oh, we're all alone now, and he's come up against the Valentine. The Valentine suddenly realised, oops, I don't really want to be here. Yes, because look, these rounds are easily going through his armour. No trouble whatsoever. And despite the fact that the Valentine's fighting back, he's not going to last very long, and he's gone. Now we've got the M10 RBFM behind us. Okay, what's the M10 going to do? Is he going to hold him here? The enemy tank, the other enemy tanks must be on their way down. He's 1 against 5 now. As it came up and said, he's on for a Kolobanov if he can win against these enemies. But he's got to get rid of that M10 RBFM first, and he gets hit by an M8A1 from a distance away. I'd ignore that, just go after the M10 RBFM. Oh, no, that didn't work. He's still firing the APCR, and he only needs to fire the standard ammo. The KV-222 is now trying to engage him. Well, this is quite a smart move, actually, because he's put his face to the enemy on the other side, and the M10 RBFM can't get a shot on him because he can't get up that rise, not without getting hit. So now he's going to go down the dip, so he will be able to engage the M10 RBFM without the others 2 being able to shoot at him. Okay, he's trying to get round the M10, but the M10's wary of this, knows what's going on. That's 1 in. 2 in. Oh, he's now getting shot by the enemy. And this is not good because he's just been tracked by the AT2. He had to use his repair kit to get out of that. And now he's down to less than 10% of his hit points left. 1 more shot and he could be out the game. Oh, he kills the M10 RBFM. Dives down the gap. Saved himself from the enemy, but the KV-222 and the AT2 are both going in at the same time. And he's not going to be able to fend them both off at the same time, so he's running. But I'm not sure he can get away in time. Not with both of them after him. There's the KV-222. Fired his, well, he's now down to just standard AP rounds. trouble is, the enemy's more likely now going to start capping. I guess the only thing he can do is go up onto the horseshoe and shoot at them in the cap. But instead, what he's doing is he's running for the enemy cap area. And I'm not sure that's going to work. I think he does need to turn around and go back. If he tries to go up onto the horseshoe, it's going to take him a little while to get up there because the speed on this vehicle isn't particularly great. It's only 38 kilometers an hour forwards, 12 backwards, and of course because this is a steep gradient, it's going to take him a little while to climb. Only 13, 14, 15 kilometers an hour. It's slowly building, and the enemy's capping with 2. And when he gets to this ledge, he might not be able to see them. That's the problem. And now he's got one of the enemy tanks behind him. It's the KV-220, and that means now that the tanks in the cap must be the Type 95 and the AT2, and he has to deal with the KV-220 because if he doesn't, he will get wiped out, and the KV-220 finishes him off. So second battle is, I'm afraid, a defeat, but it was a good try. The third game in this video is on the Redshire map, and we're on the south spawn. Game on! Well, this tank is actually designed very well for actually going through the castle on the Redshire map if you can go directly up that way, because the thing is that you're going to have to face them head on to first, and they're not going to be able to shoot you in the sides unless they get around and flank you. Now, if you wonder why there's a kangaroo on the side of ProvoBob's tanks, it's because he's an Aussie. Yes, he comes from the land down under, and he's rather proud of it. Actually, he served in the Australian forces as well. He was in the military police. Now, I'm not sure where in Australia he does live, but I'm sure he'll tell us sometime, because it's a beautiful country, absolutely fabulous place, and the people, well, amazing. Okay, well, a few enemies have been spotted, but he's got no shots on that 14 TP at the moment. There's no harm in trying. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Notice he's using standard ammo now. I think his fire discipline's become a lot better over the years. He doesn't waste so much premium ammo. He now uses the right ammo for the right job most of the time. Just occasionally he'll forget which shell he's actually loaded. Now he's being tempted to go after that Panzer IV Ausf H as he's next to the moat, and he's just found a T80. Nice hit. It's a high roll. Didn't get that one in. Get a shot the other side. Yes! And he got a kill! Now, is he going to go after that Panzer IV? I have the feeling that's exactly what he wants to do. The 14 TP in the castle grounds hasn't found anyone yet. But yes, he has found the Panzer IV, and he's, well, he is firing this way. But he's actually firing the HE. And he's bounced around for 350 hit points. In fact, it was an armor-piercing round that didn't pen. And there's the kill shot. That was a 105mm round that he fired, the enemy fired, and didn't go through. Now he might have to push that wreck out the way to get through. Wide vehicle coming through. Now, just around this corner, he's going to get loads of shots on enemy tanks, but they might have shots on him. Okay, go for the Wolverine. Yes, nice. Oh, only hit the tracks on that one. Top of the turret, he knocks the building down. I'd attack the keyhole to start with. In fact, yeah, there's an M8A1 up there. He can deal with that guy first. And yeah, he's getting multiple hits from the enemy tanks. It is quite a long reload sometimes when... and he's not getting good hits on these guys. No, that one just didn't penetrate the screen, of all things. And he's not lined up well in this moat, which is forcing him to go up the wall every time he tries to back up. And it's actually making it worse for him because that's exposing the armour. And the AMX ELC just came down into the moat. And he takes him out with one round. Now, get the keyhole first. No, he's decided not to do that. It's a reduced numbers game again. He's trying to have difficulty locking on, but he did hit the screen, but the armour on that Wolverine is so thin he should easily get the penetrate. I'm not sure why he's not locking on. He's just not auto-aiming onto these guys at all. Some people say, well, don't auto-aim, try to aim manually. The thing is, even if he's not aiming manually, he's not getting good hits. This is not good. Something's definitely wrong. Well, he gets a hit into the keyhole, but it's a low roll. Focus on this guy. Take him down. No. In fact, now he's taking a gun round through the gun. He's down to just 1/3 of his hit points left. And he's only got 3 kills so far. Considering some of the other team members must be bots, at least I would think they are. Yes, they are bots. And that's 4 kills. Okay, so he's got rid of that guy. Can he kill the Wolverine with one shot? No, missed it. I think he's had two tinnies tonight. Or has he? Come on. One of the things I love about Australia is they do have stubbies. Small little bottles of beer which are perfectly sized, perfectly round and nice for putting in your hand. Take them straight out the fridge. And yeah, that's the sort of nice way of drinking beer. If you don't know what a stubby is, look it up on Google and you'll suddenly realise what they are. Okay, there's an MA1 up here, but the enemy's almost capped out. And I don't think there's any enemy of his teammates near there to actually take care of them. I think he's given up now. He realises we're going to lose this game. And he's just trying to get as many kills as he can before the game ends. He's only got to get one more kill to get a top gun. One more! Yes! So that's his top gun, but unfortunately the enemy has capped out, so this one is a loss. Very sadly. Oh dear. Here's the end of battle results, and in the first game it was a second class tanker for ProvoBob in Excelsior on Mannheim line. He managed to get a 5 for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle, a bruise medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He managed to get 9, and he did get the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and his win rate for the battle was 7,018, and it was a victory. Let's have a look at team score. Well, you can see there was only 7 players on each side in that game. The rest were made up by bots. ProvoBob managed to get the highest damage with 1,825. The VK3001H on his team managed 1,571. And then it was the BDR-G1B on the enemy team, 1,451. When it came to kills, he had the highest number of those with 3 kills. 2 kills to the Shriv, the 60GFT, the BDR, who also managed to get a steel wall in that game. And when it came to base XP, he's got the top in that one. So top in all 3 columns, 1,332. He was the only one to get over 1,000. The rest had below that. Let's have a look at the detail. 28 shots fired, 21 direct hits, 18 penetrations, damage of 1,825 hit points, all at close range. 4 hits received from the enemy, only 1 penetrated, 3 non-penetrations, and he did 330 hit points of damage blocked by armour. He spotted 5 enemy vehicles, damaged 7 of the enemy, killed 3, and did 910 hit points of damage assistance. He earned 62,034 credits from the game, got 90,000 for completing a mission, 152,034 credits altogether after repair and ammunition resupply, and even though he actually fired premium ammunition, he still came out ahead with 103,391 credits, and even if he hadn't got the 90,000 for mission completion, he still would have made a profit. 1,998 XP times 2 for the first victory, 799 for this being a premium vehicle, took away 4,795 experience points altogether. So not a bad game in the first one. Let's have a look at the second one. Well, that was the defeat on Karelia, I'm afraid. Yes, he did get a first-class tanker because he played the game very well. Got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He ended up with 5, just one short of a top gun and 1/3 of the enemy team. And he got a duelist as well for taking on 2 tanks who damaged him and taking them out. A fire for effect for doing more damage to the hit points to his own vehicle. A bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In this one he managed to get 9. And he did get the highest caliber, the highest damage in the game, the high caliber. And his win rate was considerably higher, twice that of the previous game. 15,482 in this one, which is very high super unicum. He did 2,966 hit points of damage. The Excelsior on the enemy team got the second highest damage. 2,175 went to him. He also picked up a Top Gun. And the third highest damage in the game was KB222, who actually killed ProvoBob. He got 1,582 hit points and a Confederate. When it came to kills, it was the enemy Excelsior who did the best with 6 kills. ProvoBob got 5. 3 kills went to the KB222. And when it came to base XP, it was the Excelsior on the enemy team did the best with 1,585. At least I think that's, yes, it is an 85. ProvoBob came second with 965, and then it was the KB222 with 894. In this game, he fired 39 rounds, a lot more rounds at the enemy, 32 direct hits and 29 penetrations, 2,966 hit points in total, and all at close range. 32 hits received, only 10 of which actually penetrated, and 19 non-penetrations, 3 hits by way of splash damage. He would have qualified for a steel wall if he had not died during the battle. If they capped out, he would have got the steel wall for sure. 1,062 hit points of damage blocked by armor. 4 enemy vehicles spotted, 6 enemy vehicles damaged, 5 killed, and 14 defense points within the battle. On a premium count, he earned 70,476 credits, 6,300 for courageous resistance. That's for getting an epic or battle hero medal in a losing or drawn game. Total of 76,776 credits altogether. But he fired an awful lot of premium ammo, as you can see in this game. Absolutely massive. And he ended up with a loss of 33,798 credits. Yes, he didn't keep good ammo control in this one. Unfortunately, he had to pay for it. In fact, is that 103,000, I think it is, 712 credits just on ammo alone. Wow, that's a lot. 1,117 for XP, 793 for courageous resistance, and is that 690? No, it's 896 for premium vehicle, and 3,137 experience points altogether. Yeah, he says he tried. I think the problem really was, Bob, that you didn't have premium ammo left at the end of the game, so you couldn't deal with that KB222 when he chased after you. And ideally, what you should have done under the circumstances is held your ground at the corner to the southwest pass instead of trying to go up to the horseshoe. Use that rock for cover and side scrape off that, and then take out the KB222 with the premium ammo as he tried to get close to you. And if you tried that, I think that might have worked. But the problem was that you let too many hit points bleed away whilst you were trying to kill the M10 RBFM, and the enemy tanks were firing at you as you were still trying to kill him. If you'd actually disengaged from the M10 RBFM in such ways the enemy tanks couldn't kill you, and the M10 couldn't get any shots at you without getting hit, then I think you would have made it a much more even game. And if the enemy did start capping, then maybe you would have had to cross that ground towards the enemy tanks. But you would have had a good chance of actually resetting the cap as well, possibly even getting a defender medal. So not a great end to this one. Let's have a look at the third battle. Well, that one was the second class tanker on the Redshire map. He got a shell proof for blocking more damage to the hit points for his own vehicle, a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, and a fire for effect for doing more damage to the hit points for his own vehicle, followed by a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, and again he got 9. This one he got a Top Gun. He killed that M8A1, which was his 6th kill, and gave him that Battle Hero medal, and he also got a Steel Wall because he was still alive at the end of the game after taking over 11 hits and at least 1,000 hit points of damage blocked. His win rate from this one slightly lower, 5,840, but it's still super unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score. 1,775 hit points of damage. It was the second highest damage in the game, actually, wasn't it? Because if you look at this, it was the KV-1 on the enemy team got the high caliber for 2,305 hit points. Then it was ProvoBob with 1,775, and then it was the Churchill on the enemy team. He was the one who was capping. He got 1,743 hit points of damage, and of course the Invader medal because he was in the cap at the time that it finished. When it came to kills, it was ProvoBob. He got 6 kills. 4 kills went to the KV-1, then 2 kills to the Churchill, 3 and the Lux. And when it came to base XP, it's the Churchill, yes, 1,573 for him, 981 went to the KV-1, and then it's ProvoBob with 743 for the third place on XP. And you can see in this game there was only 6 real players on each side. 44 shots fired, 25 direct hits, 19 penetrations, damage of 1,775 hit points, of which 111 were at more than 300 meters. 13 hits received from the enemy, only 7 penetrated, 6 non-penetrations, and 1,000 hit points of damage blocked by armor. He was very lucky to get the steel wall because you need to get at least 1,000 hit points of damage blocked in order to get it. He damaged 6 of the enemy, killed 6 of the enemy, and he earned 43,661 credits, got 30,000 for mission completion, 6,300 for courageous resistance, a total of 79,961 altogether. And after repair, ammunition resupply and consumables, and considering he still fired a lot of premium ammo, he still made a profit of 22,897 credits. 25 bonds and 1,114 XP, 661 for courageous resistance, 710 for this being a premium vehicle, took away 2,486 experience points altogether. So 3 very different battles, but he got battle hero medals in all 3 of them. As you saw, 1 a success, 2 defeats, but that won't stop Bob from playing as Excelsior because he enjoys it. And if you enjoy something, keep doing it. I hope you enjoyed those replays. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm.
Just do it!
And thank you for watching.